plumberparts.co.uk. Honest reviews and advice.
Hold tight and welcome to today's plumberparts.co.uk video. My name's James. Today we're going to have a look at a kind of revisited video on how to change a kitchen tap. The one we've got in the background here has basically fallen to pieces. The guy who lives here is obviously insanely strong, tried to turn the tap off, everything fell out. Oh my god, what am I going to do? So basically I've come round, the landlord's asked me to come over and shove a nice little cheapy tap in here for him. So what I'm going to do is the water is already switched off, but you are definitely going to have to switch the water off to do this job. So make sure you know where your stopcock is, or if you're lucky enough and you've got an isolation valve underneath, make sure you shut them off to make sure that the water's turned off. Obviously, you know, if you've got a dripping tap, it should stop dripping over time, or if you've got any other kind of tap, open it up and make sure that there's no water coming out. Also, if it's downstairs, go upstairs as well and open up some of the taps and that to allow air into the pipework. Otherwise, when you cut into the pipes down below or whip the tap off, you might get a load of water come out. We don't want that, do we? No. Anyway, I hope you subscribe to this video. We do lots of other videos on plumbing pictures and disasters. We're massive on Facebook and Twitter, and I hope you enjoy and learn about how to change taps. Remember everyone, to hold tight. Oh, and between you and me, there's a dog in the cage just outside the shop that does not like me. So yeah, I'm going to get this done pretty quick. So here we are looking at the underside of the kitchen sink. Now we've got the kitchen sink bowl here. These two pipes going up just here are the hot and cold feeds to the tap. So as I've got all my water off and everything, the first thing I'm going to do is basically cut the two pipes of those feeds. If your tap's more modern, then you might be lucky and you find you've got flexible tap connectors under there. Thereby, all you need to do is grab a set of adjustables and just slacken off the nuts underneath. But as I said, make sure that the water's off already. So yeah, that's the first bit of our job here, is to just get our pipe slice on here, get these two pipes cut off. Make sure when you do this that you check that your new flexibles will be long enough for where you're cutting the pipe off. So there you go, now you can see we've cut those two bits off. We did get a little bit of water out of this hot pipe here, but that's okay. Make sure you make a mental note of which way these pipes lined up so you know which way to put your hot and cold round when you put the new tap in. Right, so for this next bit, you're going to need to lay down actually inside the cupboard on your back. So I'd recommend you dry out everything as much as you can. I mean, this is really the worst part of this job, and let's face it, there's not really many sort of pluses to take away from this job in the first place. What you're going to do is you're going to lay on this towel on your back, a bit like you're working underneath a car, and you'll see up underneath there'll be a small nut or maybe two small nuts, and what they do, they clamp on the bottom of the tap, okay? So what we need to do is undo both of these nuts, and then hopefully your tap should pull out nice and easily from the top. This bit is what I've described in previous videos is absolute hell and agony, but if you grit hard then you'll be able to get through it and hopefully complete the full job. It's most likely that you guys are going to have to use an adjustable spanner like this or like this. You can buy these tube spanners that are on here that are about this long, and they'll have two different ends on each thing. They're perfect for this sort of job. I got my welder out and put an extra length of metal on here so I can reach it easy from the underside of the sink. Right, so we're lucky because that's one nut. I think it's this size. So the nut we're talking about is this one here, just under there like that. Get that on there. Now you can see how difficult this would be to do if you didn't actually have a proper set of little spanners like this, or even a small tube spanner. They're very difficult to do with just a normal set of adjustable spanners. Just going to keep on twisting. Right, so that's that off. So now we should be able to pull it out from the top and those clamps will just fall down. So now we've got our old tap out. It's probably a good idea you just give it a bit of a clean round here. It's always the next thing I do. Just make sure that there's no lime scale on there, because that might make the installation of your new tap look a little bit, you know, well, naff. So there we go, that's ready. Now all we need to do is prepare our new tap to go in and then refix it back in reverse order and then pipe it up, test everything for leaks, and hopefully it should be done. Right, so we've got the tap itself here. The first thing you're going to do basically is you've got two braided hoses with this particular tap. You might not get that with normal ones. So what we're going to do is put our braided hose, the red type, on this side that correlates to the red side of the tap. So that's going to go in like that. These do not need to be over tightened or anything. As you can see here, there's a little rubber O-ring around this flexible here. That is what does the sealing. It's not the tightness of the thread. It's not how much you tighten them up. As long as this O-ring goes fully into the bottom of the tap, that'll be fine. So basically just like this. So we just pop that in there like so, and basically just twist it up, and you'll see that the O-ring will just disappear nice and easily inside there. Okay, so that's ready to go. So if we have a quick look at actually how this sort of sets up, we've got a little decorative fascia that goes under here, and what that does is that sits on there like so, and you've got your rubber O-ring under there that will stop any splash water going down. The next thing, if you have a look nice and closely right down here on this single pillar tap, you'll have a small bolt just like this one here. What you do, you screw that into the bolt hole just on here. What that does is that's going to be what our clamp goes round underneath. That is everything that goes on the upper side of your sink. Okay, that's all we've got on that side. So underneath, actually doing the clamping, we've got a small rubber here that basically protects the underside of your sink or whatever you've got there. Also, then you've got a proper metal clamp like this that pops on there just like that, and then just on top of there you've got our nut that goes underneath. Okay, now as an option you can have a larger sort of piece that fits underneath here. That's if you've got a really wobbly sink or you don't think it's going to be sturdy enough for the tap. So if we look at it like this, if my fingers are the actual basin, this is what you've got. Okay, that's how it works, and that bit there will tighten up, clamp up onto the bottom like that, and then that will hold down our tap nice and safely. We are now going to feed in both our little pipes just like so, like that, and they're going to pop out at the bottom, and then we're just going to sit our tap down, making sure that our rubber seal goes around nicely. So now we've got that in. This is the most difficult part of the job. So now we've got that in, you can try and fold that round onto here. This is a very, very, very difficult part of the job. It's just getting this bit under here, trying to get our rubber O-ring on there. You might want someone to give you a hand holding it up. Now I'm just going to try and start our nut. Alright, so there we go, we are home and dry. As soon as you get that started, looking good. Now you just want to nip that up a little bit, and then go back above, make sure you've got the tap aligned to how you want it, and then go back underneath and give it a real good tightening up. If you've got someone above there helping you, just make sure that they've got it lined up right, and then you can tighten it up now. So now all I'm going to do is very quickly pipe up our hot and cold the right way round, and then I'm going to turn the water back on and test for leaks. You may have noticed there as well, I've popped in an isolation valve, and also we've got flexibles on there now as well. So if there are any more problems in the future, not only will they be able to isolate that tap and not have to knock off all the pipe work, but also the next plumber or DIYer will find it a lot easier to change the tap in the future. What I'm obviously going to try and do as well, before we go, is have a quick word with the customer, see if we can get rid of some of this HEP 2O pipe work as well. It's not very good. And also get this clipped up nice and properly. So there we go, that's all done. We've got the water back on, we've tested for leaks, we've got no leaks. We're going to clip those pipes up like I said in a minute, and also try and change out as much of that HEP 2O as possible, because from a plumber's perspective I much prefer to see proper copper pipework in there nicely clipped up at the back of that cupboard. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I hope it's helped you learn how to actually do the changeover of a single pillar kitchen tap. If you want any more help or any more information, please visit our website plumberparts.co.uk. As I said, please subscribe to our videos. Also you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, where we post loads of pictures of plumbing disasters. If you've got any questions or you want any help, then definitely ask us. But the best way to do that is to do a quick video with you describing the problem using your camera phone, and then send it to our Facebook page. I hope you've enjoyed today's video yet again, and I'll see you in next week's video. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hold tight!
Plumberparts.co.uk. Honest reviews and advice.